Back with Bobby and JJ Radio. We've learned about some great organizations here in the San Antonio metro area. We had College Nannies and Tutors and Cafe College. There are two great interviews with some great people. If you miss any of it, you go to our YouTube channel on bobbyandjjradio.com. It'll be up in a couple weeks. We will be on SoundCloud tomorrow, so you can download or stream the show. And, of course, be a fan of our show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Our next guest is a very important person. What we're going to see here in the next 3 weeks is Mr. Fred Reyes. He's actually trying to be the Rey Feo of San Antonio.
How does that translate in English?
Ugly King. Yeah.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes, it's the Ugly King.
It's the Ugly King, yeah. So Fred, tell us everything about Rey Feo. What is it? We see it all the time, you know, people, the court, or you brought your entourage here too, but
Gestures,
yeah, they're juggling. It was crazy. But what is Rey Feo?
Rey Feo is a scholarship program that was developed in the 40s by the LULAC Scholarship Committee, and we and the reason they did it was to provide scholarships for students, because an educated workplace, an educated workforce betters everybody. And one of the things that they wanted to do was make that a little bit easier.
Right.
And the Rey Feo program was developed from a tradition in Spain, back in the 1600s, where
I remember.
Yeah, you were there.
Oh. The populace would not see the king. So whenever they would have festivals or anything like that, they would want to, have royalty there. So it got to the point where they said, well, let's elect our own king. Well, if you were going to call someone else a king, that's kind of offensive to the real king.
Absolutely.
So the way they got around it was say they were going to call it the Rey Feo, the ugly king.
Right.
So that tradition was taken forward into the 40s, when the LULAC Scholarship Committee decided they were going to raise money to help provide scholarships to local students.
Sure.
And they used that to say, okay, let's have a method of raising funds and giving. And what we'll do is we'll take that tradition and nominate businessmen, community leaders to go and raise money. And when they raise the money, then they would become the Ugly King or the Rey Feo.
Sure. You got to raise at least, what was it, $225,000?
The minimum this year is $225,000.
But you're on the hook for that, right, buddy?
Yes, I am.
So you got to raise it.
If you don't come up with $225, you're cutting a check.
Big fat check.
Yeah, Fred Reyes.
Is it a rubber check? Is it going to bounce?
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see, won't we?
Yeah. So if you put up $225,000. And then you go out and raise as much as you can, but whatever's left over, it's on you, and you're trying to win the pretty much the Rey Feo contest. And it's two organizations that kind of go after each other, right?
Yes.
They both elect one person, and then they kind of campaign.
Yes, there are two organizations. There's the Rey Feo Scholarship Committee, and then there's the Consejos. And they're both affiliated with each other, but each organization nominates a community leader, business person, to become a Rey Feo candidate.
Sure.
And then the candidates then go out and hold different events,
right?
And to raise the money, and in order to raise this minimum, and once you raise the minimum, you will become Rey Feo.
Sure. And so these business leaders, first of all, you're a legacy, right? So your dad did this as well.
Correct.
He was Rey Feo. He was elected Rey Feo.
Yes, he was Rey Feo in 2008.
That's awesome.
And matter of fact, he still holds the record for raising the most money.
Really?
He raised $460,000.
That's amazing. And so for these people or children, well, first of all, how many scholarships are you guys giving out every year?
It's anywhere between 135 to 150 scholarships. Each of those scholarships is $2,000 now.
Right.
And the students that obtain the scholarships are eligible to have that scholarship all 4 years that they're in school, as long as they maintain a B average.
How'd your dad come up with $400,000?
He's a very good man.
So does it roll over to you? Like if you don't come up with the whole 225, you can use some of his?
Nope, it starts over.
Yeah, it starts over every year. And so how can someone qualify for these scholarships?
The students that are eligible for the scholarships have to be a resident of Bexar County.
Sure. And
they have to either be a high school senior or a freshman in college.
Right. And
basically the committee looks at their application.
Absolutely.
What kind of extracurriculars they did, what have involved in the community, what of course the grades. They all factor in.
I gotcha. And so how many? So you said 135 or so. And how much are these scholarships for usually?
Each scholarship is $2,000.
So you're giving every single kid $2,000 that actually qualifies, and they're accepted.
Yes, for every year, for 4 years.
And so regularly, how does the nominations work to become a nominee for Rey Feo?
The committee will, of course, go out and start to, or both organizations, Consejos and the Scholarship Committee, will start to vet out, like I said, community leaders, businessmen.
Sure.
And they basically go and they do their search and start trying to find likely candidates that that are capable of raising the money, and which even more importantly is have the time to to devote to the program.
Yeah, because it must be. I mean, this is the last stretch for you guys, the last 3 weeks.
And how many people are running at one time for Rey Feo?
It's just 2. It's LULAC and the Consejos.
It's 2, but this year there's actually 3.
Oh wow.
The scholarship committee added a third candidate.
But historically, it's been usually 2.
It's usually 2.
Wow, that's crazy. And so, everyone. So if there's 3, so all 3 are raising this amount of money or close to it, and so this is getting bigger and bigger. Then.
Yes, every year the program has grown.
That's awesome.
And they've raised the minimum every year, and they're constantly trying to raise the amount of money that they give, raise the amount of money that's given in scholarships.
Sure.
As a matter of fact, this is the first year that it's been 2,000. Usually it was 1,500. They just upped it. They've gone. When my father ran for Rey Feo, they only handed out 100 scholarships. Now they're to, like I said, we're about 135. So we're trying to increase the program because, again, the more scholarships you give out, the easier it becomes for the students. It just makes everything
and when you're
better
Rey Feo, you're going to schools and you're meeting kids. Because I remember when I was a kid and I was in elementary school, Rey Feo came. Now I remember that he had the robe on, he had the crown on. It was a big deal. So are you guys doing that too?
Yes. One of the things, of course, most people recognize Rey Feo from the 10 days of Fiesta, and they see us in the parades and such, but there's a whole other component to the Rey Feo program that most people don't see, and that's the promotion of education.
JJ's in the parades too, but he's a pooper scooper.
Yeah, but I get out there. I'm seen for sure.
You'll be right behind me then.
Absolutely. If you want to get involved in the Rey Feo race and help out Fred Reyes, you can go to info@fredforfeo.com. Again, that's info@fredforfeo.com, or call 210-231-2600. That's 231-2600. That was Bobby and JJ Radio this week. We'll see you next Sunday.
Bye.